Hello, welcome to this week's How's the Market, Pensacola. Well, rumor has it the president may be swinging by this week. We shall see. We shall see. I don't know. I'm sure that we will see both candidates in our area probably multiple times before we finally finalize this thing, which is not going to be on election night. If you haven't paid attention to that, we're not going to know an answer that day. I can almost promise you that. But in other news, we have seen a lot of corporate defaults and personal defaults come out of default, meaning that forbearance stuff that we keep talking about, a lot of that's coming out now. And we're starting to see what some of the options are as well. So that'll be something to pay attention to. But this week, let's just look at the numbers in our county and see what happens in real estate. Let's go. All right, for those of you who had never watched the show, I always start off with this slide. The slide says if we have between 6 and 7 months worth of inventory, we have a neutral market. If we have greater than 7 months worth of inventory, we have a buyer's market. We have less than 6 months worth of inventory is considered a seller's market. What the slide does not say, anything greater than 9 months is considered a hyper buyer's market. Anything less than 3 months is considered a hyper seller's market. So there's our baseline for what I'm about to share with you for this week. We're starting off in Escambia County, and if you look, everything under 500,000 is a hyper seller's market, so under 3 months worth of inventory. Now, if you look between 500 and 700, our definition says it has to be under 3 months inventory to be a hyper seller's. Well, 550 to 600 is just right at 3 months, so it's not quite a hyper seller's. Definitely a seller's though. Our luxury has creeped down a little, so it's entered the seller market zone. It is not a neutral market anymore. Again, if you have never watched the show, over here on the left on the chart, you're looking at are your price points, on the right are your month's inventory. One of the things that concerns me a lot are those first-time home buyers, 100 to 200,000. If you look, 100 to 150,000 is 0.7, and 150 to 200,000 is 0.6. That means, what is that, middle of next month, Thanksgiving? If we don't get new properties, we're going to be out of properties. That's concerning to me quite a bit. The 3 to 350 is the same, it's 0.8. So, and the 0 to 50, there's literally 5 properties. And I know some of those, 2 of those I know actually are lots because I have them listed. So that is Escambia County. Let's sneak over to Santa Rosa County, see what they have to say. Santa Rosa County has a hyper seller's market all the way up to $650,000. And my concerns in Escambia County, where the 100 to 150, they've got 6 properties active. And I know all 6 of them because I looked it up before we looked at this. These 6 are in rough shape. They're in rough shape. That's 0.3 months. That means that this price point could be 0 by the end of the month. By the end of the month. At Halloween, that could be very, very scary. No pun intended. Just came up with that on the fly. 150 to 200 is a half a month's inventory. 200 to 250, a half a month's inventory. And remember, some of this inventory is actually new builders. So new builders are saying, hey, here's a property with a floor plan. Well, they only put 1 of those on. They might sell 3 or 4 of them, but they only put 1 on. So you may be able to skew this up 0.1% more, but not much. Not much. 650 to 700, 3.5 months worth of inventory. So we've moved into a seller's market. The 700, the luxury in Santa Rosa County has actually come down a little bit to 4.2 months. So there's not a buyer's or a neutral market in Santa Rosa County at all. And there's not a buyer's or a neutral market in Escambia County. One could make the argument that the 700,000 plus, the luxury, is close enough to become close to neutral, but it's not. And I show all these numbers every week for one reason and one reason only, so that sellers know what they can get for properties and buyers know what they need to offer. Both sides of the equation. You can look, I've been doing this show for 1.5 years now. You can look back a year ago in October and you can see some of the some of the things that I put out where we had buyer's markets, hyper buyer's markets in some price points. Right now, this is just a cyclical. 2020 is a weird year for a lot of reasons, but here in real estate, we're seeing it's nuts. I'm seeing a lot of activity on the off-market world, meaning they don't come on the MLS. So some people, I have seen some deals that have been made, and I got to credit the buyers because the sellers were practically giving the property away. They were working with an investor. They were doing it, as is, cash. And I get it. I'm that way. I have no problems making people a cash offer on a property. None. If somebody says, hey, what can I get for this cash? I will tell you what you can get for it cash. And I don't mind making that offer. But it just depends on what you're trying to do. If you need to have it sold in a week, that's a great plan. If you don't have any time constraints on it, it might not be the best plan. Because even as is, coming on the market seems to be getting you more because of this lack of inventory right now. But I'm seeing that off-market activity really high right now. So if you're considering it, no matter the condition of the property, let's chat. As an investor, I can give you the investor's eyeballs. I can tell you what a property is worth to an investor who's willing to pay cash right now. I have a lot of friends that have a lot of cash that want me to invest it in property for them. So I'm a cash buyer myself. I have no problems doing that. But when it comes to the market, if we've got time, you may be able to put some more of it as a seller in your pocket. Just pay attention to that. Just pay attention to that. I'm only here to try and figure out what's best for you. What are you wanting to accomplish? Again, if you have to be gone in a week and it needs to be as is and we can barely do inspections, then okay, that's one thing. Understand that term in a real estate contract is going to dictate a lower price. I get that. But I've seen some stuff where sellers left a lot of money on the table. They really did. They left a lot of money on the table. And it's that off-market stuff. So we're seeing a lot of that happen. I saw that happen when I lived down in Central Florida back in the heyday. So I'm seeing some of it kind of creep its way up here. And I think that our little paradise is actually being found out by quite a few people. So anyways, that's the numbers this week. If you know anybody looking to make any moves of the next, let's say 12 months, I know we're, in the fourth quarter of 2020, and my goodness, so many people are telling me I just can't wait for this year to be over. I'm trying not to push through life like that, but I understand the premise. If you know anybody looking to make any change, or if you're looking at making any plans, let's say next year even, let's chat. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a phone conversation. We'll come up with a plan. We'll kind of go from there. But I try and do this so you can stay educated. You can make a good decision for you and yours. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. I'm a man on a mission. My mission is to help people break through all the noise out there and don't need no permission. I want to help you get to actual truth. Don't you just want the truth?